A very good afternoon to one and all present here. On the day 2 of SIMIRCON 2023 of the International Conference, we have a panel discussion on the topic, India at 2047. I request our Director, Sir, CMA, Professor Gopinath, to welcome the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. We'd like to give more time for the discussion, so let's not look into too many formalities. I'll introduce the guests as I get onto the place. May I please welcome Madam Tulsi Madineni. May I ask Ms. Janam Janvi to welcome her with a book. Good afternoon, everyone. We have a fantastic panel here for our discussion today. The topic for the panel is India by 2047, 100 years of our independence. And the best part is, let me introduce the guests. I have the senior most person out here, Sri Vishwanath Bhatt, a great individual, a man with immense qualification and experience in the field of economics. He has a master's degree in economics and science. 23 years he served in the bank. And the most important thing is he was the convener of the economic cell of government of Karnataka. And for the last 8 years, forget the last 2 years, but for that previous 8 years, he has been the convener of the economic cell. And sir, we love to have you out here. Thank you so much, sir. We have Madam Tulsi Madineni. She is an IAS. If you can think of somebody who is a firebrand leader and administrator, it is Madam. She, at present, holds the position as she is heading the backward classes development cell of Government of Karnataka. Prior to this, she was DC of Koppal, and her assignments in Bangalore and South Canara are well known. I would love to move on to the next guest. I'd like to give a little more time for the panel. Thank you so much, madam. Sri Suresh Narasimha. The two gentlemen who are sitting right to me are someone whose profile reads, immensely. I'll make it short and concentrate a little more on the thing. He is a venture capitalist. India by 2047 needs finances, and if we can get ideas from venture finance and those things from them, nothing like it. He has financed over 40 of these startups, and his fantastic experience in these things are something which is out of the world. He has launched a PE model on Just Books. He is also a technology and consumer-focused entrepreneur with 17 plus years of experience. You have heard of companies like Telebrahma, Monkeybox, Sensera, and Upagna. And he is welcome into our panel discussion. Thank you so much, sir. Sri Amitabh Satyam, he is our technologist in our panel. He is the chairman of Smart Transformations, a graduate of IIT Kanpur with an MBA from Fisher's College of Business, the former managing partner of SAP Global and head of telecom. His assignments, and where he has been working is he is chairman of Smart Transformations. Earlier to this, he was managing partner of SAP for 2 years, global leader of telecom media consulting, vice president Siemens, and he has been MD of Mobi Apps, Reliance Communication, business process consultants at Cablevision, Long Island, New York, and he was a financial consultant to Morgan Stanley and the Lehman Brothers. Welcome, sir. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me look into this. We Indians are very, very a proud nation. What we have achieved in the last 75 years, I think we're going to treble that by the next 25 years' time. We are at present celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav with 75 years. Now, if the current position, the way we are running around, it to be a 40 trillion economy by 2040 at 8.5% growth, what are we to do and what sort of planning is required we'll have all these 4 experts out in this field. Each one of them is a specialist in their particular field. The economists will be taken up by Sri Vishwanath Bhatt. And as I see, the sectors that we need to look into and control could be renewable energy. See, what we see is a country is supposed to be progressing well enough if they have 3 parameters in which to be measured. One of them is clean energy, bioenergy, and the digital revolution. I think we have 3 sets of people for each of these. We'll directly move into the questionnaire. I don't think we have the time to look into the other statistical data on this. Now, madam, the 4 parameters for growth that is measured: demographics, digitalization, decarbonization, and deglobalization. I think we have fundamentally strong essentials in each of these. Look into each of these sectors. Demographic looks into that we are a very, very young country at the mean age of 28.5 years. We have the world's largest number of graduates, young people working. We have really good healthcare and facilities now, excellent facilities as regards drinking water, own houses being provided to most of the people in the rural areas so that they don't migrate to the cities. Each household at least has an average now of electricity, gas, food security, health, insurance, and most importantly, the toilets. If demographics are like this, we are on strong fundamentals. Digitalization, I think nowhere in the world they have taken digitalization to that extent as we have done. Maybe we are the only country in the world where the data is so cheap. Almost everybody has a bank account in the last set of years that's been done. I think we are also looking into DBT as a very essential factor in this. Crop insurance has come in, and most importantly, information access available to everyone in every possible field. I did attend a conference in Sri Lanka on carbon and how could you control these emissions. When we look into all this, we definitely feel that we are moving in the right direction. I will not like to move into a lot of data on this. And deglobalization, everybody talks about India, its production, its manufacturing sector, and others. We are a very big market. What we have done now is logistically we have taken care of things. Based on this premises, I would love to use one particular word that's very essential now, that is primarily used by our fantastic Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi, wherein we call it as Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We don't only mean humans, we mean the animal, the plant, the whole world as it is, and to ensure that everybody gets a piece of the cake and nobody is disillusioned out of this world. If you can actually get on with this, nothing like it. And we are showing it to the world the way we have transferred that in Turkey now. We have done it as against, the other aspect, providing vaccines to the almost 120 countries in the world. We as a country are leaders of the thing. With Quad in our picture and running around, maybe by 2047, we should really be the leaders. Let's see where we are going to go ahead. And Sir Vishwanath Bhatt, that first question I would love to speak to you or ask you upon is tourism sector. So where do you find our people and the whole world getting into India as regards the tourism, and where do you expect India to be by 2047?
Agriculture. One sector that is going to give massive employment opportunities is tourism. Let me tell you, the major challenge India is facing right now is unemployment problem. By 2030, whichever the government is in place, it has to create between 90 to 100 million jobs, incremental jobs. That means another 9 to 10 crore new jobs have to be created by 2030. For that, the government has to, the growth rate should not be less than 7. For the next 10 to 15, not 10, around 15 years, you need a strong and a sustainable growth of more than 7.5 to 8%. Only a self-reliant, inclusive growth and a strong growth can achieve this. For that, you need jobs. That is where actually the tourism comes into picture. Right now, more than 8 crore people, not just directly, direct and indirectly taken together, more than 8 crore people are actually working in this sector. wife plus 2 children, you add. 8 fours are 32. For 32 crore people's plate, you get the food from this tourism sector. We should be aware of it. For the first time in the budget 2023-24, there is a massive boost for tourism. For the first time it has gone. Of course, the last 2 years you cannot think of it. Why they have done is, I feel that India right now is the chief of this G20 nations. I think 155 meetings will be organized in India, where delegates from all the countries, speaking about G20, 85% of the global GDP will be controlled by this group. So all those people will be coming here. They can use this platform, these meetings, actually to give, this is the tourism, heritage tourism. Generally, I think we will show heritage tourism. This is what their plan is. Second one is, they are thinking of Dekho Apna Desh. I saw this catchy phrase. Every year, millions and millions of Indians are going out of India for tourism. There may be request by the Prime Minister shortly. There is opportunities in India. We are trying to create a lot of what you call, in fact, they will be giving incentives also. You first visit your country, see the places. First you see your nation. Dekho, Apna Desh. Then you can think of it, something like that. The benefit of it is, first, the tourism will get boost. Second, outgo of foreign exchange will come down. Third one, there will be growth, actually. To begin with, this is the thing. Second, it is going to boost the foreign direct investment in India. There are not just one or two. They have so many ideas. But very less is spoken about it in the budget. But it has given an inclination about the shape of the things to come. You have right topic you have picked up. Personally, I feel India is going to see nearly 10 to 11% growth, sustainable growth for the next 15 years in tourism.
Thank you, sir. Sri Amitabh, sir. Sir, tourism as of now has become more of an app-based tourism. Earlier, we would know the place, ask our friends, and maybe book a train and reach there. When it becomes app-based, people also look into virtual tours of places and decide where to go, how to go, and does it suit them. What is your take on it? And where do you find these apps or the tourism sector booming with the apps or technology sector?
The thing about app-driven or tech-driven tourism is, we cannot smell the place still. So unless we can create a sense of a smell and we sit in a virtual room and we have a 3D, all I'm saying is, going forward, people would travel only for tourism. There is no reason to go out anymore of the home. Why would you go anywhere? The observation I have here is that, and just in Karnataka, and in fact even forget Karnataka, just the Halibedi Balluru temple here, I think that alone is more and bigger, not size-wise bigger, but content-wise bigger than all of Europe, including Greece. There's so much just in one, and then if we have Karnataka, we have 5 times more. In India, we have 100 times more. So the potential is unlimited. We don't think about India for tourism. In fact, I have been to so many places, there's no place to stay. So the focus is that we have to invest in tourism, and the experience of traveling and going somewhere, people go for vacations. If you look at whenever people have money, the first thing to do is go away. So tourism is the moment you see tourism, that means people are rich. People have earning more than their basic sustenance level. Only then they are traveling. And if they are traveling, is a sign of. So we have to be able to get to that level when people who are traveling, who already are reasonably rich, there needs to be given some sort of a comfort and convenience. So I know that since the last 10 years or so, we have been investing in them. But I can see that even 30 rupees people don't pay here, because we have not positioned it as a superior work. We just we don't respect our temples and our structures. So tourism is 2 kinds. One is for a Goa kind of a tourism, which is we can compete and do well against Thailand and others. But our cultural heritage tourism, which is so powerful, it's so powerful. In the upcoming book, I have kind of tried to quantify it. It is amazing how you can quantify some of these cultural heritage things. And we are like 100 times bigger than almost most countries, 100. I mean, even the other Asian countries, which are considered, which are traditional with lots of, like the Hindu temples in Bali and in Cambodia and others. They're all our own traditions. They're all our own traditions only. So they are living off our traditions in those countries. The Bali gets more visitors than all of India. So you can imagine that the tiny population of 30 crore per 30 lakh people is more important than ours. So I know that Modi ji has been talking about tourism, Modi ji has been talking about cleanliness, and over time I have seen the improvements, but there's a huge fundamental mindset change is required, that we have to respect our own places, and then we need to go, instead of going to Taj Mahal, which has a long waiting time and you wait for like 10 hours, 5 hours just to get half an hour inside. We respect our own traditions like 30, 40 kilometers from here. And you discover that I don't mean to denigrate, but I don't like Taj Mahal at all. Taj Mahal there's nothing except a flat surface wherever. Whereas where our structure, one of the 1,000 elephants is more profound than in that Taj Mahal. So I think we need to have that sense of aggressive pride in our case. The moment you have that aggressive pride in ourselves, automatically the self-respect comes in, and when self-respect will bring the foreigners in. When I lived in the US, people from other countries used to be so passionate about their own country. Oh God, you have to come to my country, it's so nice, this and that. Every small, tiny country guys also would say that, except Indians, and of course Pakistanis, but I don't count. Indians never said so proudly about their country. So the foreigners never get an impression that we are an amazing country, which we actually are.
Thank you, sir. See, Suresh, you have been an entrepreneur and a venture capitalist. What do you find the role of new startups in this tourism sector? Do you think it's saturated, or how much more? Because we always believe in a concept of ye dil mange more. Can we go on for something like that? What's your take on this?
See, I think if you look at from a VC perspective, right, or even, I think apps are done. We have got enough app. In fact, I mean, what we saw is, in fact, one of the challenges Indian entrepreneurs have is you need to compete with a great startup entrepreneur like Modi, yeah, right? India is a startup country, and probably Modi is the best startup CEO we ever had, right? So if you just go and look at the budget, government is trying to create an app that puts an end to all the people who just want to create another app and raise the capital, right? So in fact, government will also figure out how to make money out of the app they are launching, right? I'm confident about that. But coming back to the question that you are talking about, sir, right? I think from the startup perspective or entrepreneur's perspective, the whole challenge is to think deeper, right? If you want to have tourism which is sustainable and which is eco-friendly, then there are a whole lot of technologies that needs to be created. For example, someone has to replace this, right? I just looked at this. This plastic bottle will not do good for our tourism, right? Someone has to think of a better way to deliver water, right? Someone has to think of better way to deliver hygiene food, right? You need to have a different idea in terms of maybe human taxis, right? So what is the alternative for your, I mean, he said great temples, right? So when we say tourism, normally entrepreneurs will think that I will have one more application, I will have one more planner, I will have one more, logistics manager, right? But the opportunities that I see startups coming up, right, where there will be a lot of money available, is those who think of a sustainable way of managing a, let's say, tourist place, right? A lot of technologies by which you help tourism places or tourism operators or even the government, specific governments to manage the movement of the people in a much, much better way, right? So the kind of startups that you see, the kind of investments that you see is probably a lot different, and I hope, I mean, I was just looking at Tulsi Madam, I hope a lot more of IAS kind of brains is what will get into startup. That's what I believe in.
Thank you, sir. Madam, administratively, what do you think needs to be done? Can we get in more women entrepreneurs, or can we get our families to move around a little more? Maybe get a little more free time? What is your take on, as an administrator, okay, into this particular sector?
I have a contrarian view, and I'm not very famous for my views. But when we are talking about tourism, this 26th of January, I had to be in Hampi. I am the district in charge secretary for Vijayanagara, so there was Hampi Utsav. The CM was slated to inaugurate it. So I went there. It was a holiday. I generally don't take my kids now anywhere. They stay back. So I told, okay, 2 days holidays, you come. There is a mass exodus of vehicles going out of Bangalore. Hampi is totally full. Absolutely nobody has any interest in seeing what is the actual monument there. I don't have proper trained guides. Okay? And this madness about traveling. Every weekend, Friday, you see, there is an outside glut. Sunday evening, Monday morning, there is an inside glut into it. The outcome of it, if you see, it is generating income somewhere, but savings. India, which used to have, I'm sure, sir, you would help me with the exact numbers, where our savings rate as an economy was somewhere to the tune of 33%, 27%. Today, we are not having our savings. If you look at all these crowds, that again, which I feel is an outcome of the technology where everybody feels I have to put a picture of what I have traveled. Okay? That is one thing. And tourism has its disadvantages. As Suresh Narasimhan sir has told, we are looking, Airbnb is today highly valued as compared to Hilton, which runs a chain of hotels. Yes, technology is an enabler. It's helping me to know it, but then there has to be a reason. If somebody is going to a place, why are they going? What do they want to do? What is the experience, the expenditure of it, and the local sustainability? The first important question is sustainability. It is very easy to destroy everything now in the next 5 years and then repair it for the next 30 years. We may progress slowly in the next 5 years. Local, again here, the local people will tell, no, you are being a hindrance, you are pulling us back. But unless we bring in sustainability, the simplest example, if somebody goes to visit a place, we need to provide toilets. To build proper toilets, you need a septic tank. Septic tank, after a certain capacity, is not sufficient. You need a drainage system. Okay? Once the drainage system, okay, everything is set, who is going to maintain the toilets? The easiest thing in toilets is to build a toilet. The most difficult thing is to maintain them. I am today willingly pay 10 rupees to use any proper toilet anywhere in Bangalore. I'm sure most of the